The Raven. When love turns into exile. Imagine if, in a moment of impatience, the most dangerous desire leaped from the lips of the one you love and changed everything forever. What if a single unspoken phrase, or one spoken without thinking, could transform a child into a crow, banishing them from the world, imprisoning their future in the shadows of the forest? Today you'll discover The Raven by the Brothers Grimm, a tale where sorrow turns to magic, and salvation requires courage, magic, and loyalty that withstands fear. The beginning of the deconstruction. In a court marked by emptiness, a mother loses patience with her daughter. The tantrums, the crying, the repeated days teetering on the edge of love and irritation. Without realizing it, she throws a bitter wish to the wind. Oh, if only you could turn into a crow and fly away. At that same instant, the world splits open and cracks. The girl disappears, transformed into a black raven, condemned to exile in the trees, surrounded by mystery and solitude. The court weeps, but regret can do nothing. Time flies, memories turn to dust, and the forest grows around hope. In the forest, the crow watches silently, learning to suffer and create its own narrative of waiting. Days turn into years. The world forgets the girl, but the spell is corrosive. It can only be broken by the sacrifice of another, someone willing to face the impossible. A young, upright, and curious traveler crosses the forest. The raven, realizing the unique opportunity, reveals its story and proposes a pact. 3 days of trials, 3 challenges to reverse fate. What is at stake is not only the princess's freedom, but the power to confront destructive desires, to yield to the call of the other, to transform pain into redemption. Desire and the power of the archetype. In this opening, Grimm opens the cycle of parental trauma. Unconscious desire has the power of a spell. It can scar, wound, and banish without return. The transformation of the innocent into a raven is the descent into the shadows, the unconscious exile, the wait for reconciliation. The young hero is an archetype of healing. For every banished child, there is someone ready to face trials, provided they resist sleep, manipulation, and absolute fear. The young man accepts, but the journey is only beginning. Rest, old age, sleep, and enchantment intertwine, and the danger of failure lurks at every minute. The crow can be saved, but it takes courage to face one's own fatigue, the old witch's tricks, and the temptation to give up. Would you endure 3 days of vigil for the salvation of someone so far away? Have you ever felt that a word spoken without thinking changed your life? Comment. Who has been a crow in your story, and who has tried to save you from exile? Sleep, the old woman, and the first failure. The forest seems still, but time is turbulent within the young hero. On the first day of the test, he builds purpose into every fiber of his being, repeating to himself that he will not sleep, no matter what. Even though tired, he waits, eyes fixed, stomach empty. At noon, he feels the weight of the sun. At 2 in the afternoon, the fatal moment approaches. The old witch appears, her voice sweet and false, offering comfort, fresh milk, and temporary rest. Drink up, sit down, you're just a boy. The temptation to seek relief from suffering. The young man accepts, believing in the best, and feels a numbness take over his body. He falls into a deep sleep. At the height of the vigil, the raven princess flies over the forest, her white horse-drawn carriage gleaming under the sky. She watches, laments, cries, but she cannot wake him. the spell remains strong. Upon awakening, the protagonist finds himself in a dense atmosphere of guilt and visceral failure. Night sweeps over the trees. The sounds of animals intensify. The hero promises he will not sleep tomorrow, neither by promise nor by trickery. But on the second day, the old woman returns, this time with bread and herb soup. Hunger consumes resistance. The hero accepts it, chewing slowly, feeling each bite as a surrender to exhaustion. Once again, torpor overcomes him, and the spell repeats itself. The carriage passes. The princess sheds a tear on the field. The young man dreams of redemption, but awakens in silent despair. The psychology of failure and perseverance. Here begins the true arc of maturation. Every failure is not just a defeat, but an invitation to understand human limitations. The hero suffers, but learns that perseverance requires more than physical strength. It demands mastery of the soul and resistance to self-deception. Upon awakening from their second sleep, hope almost dissolves, but the Raven Princess, with renewed compassion, leaves secret instructions, a ring and a letter, a promise that trying again is optional, but searching will make all the difference. The objective changes: to leave the forest, find the legendary golden castle of Stromberg, face the crossroads, monsters and enigmas of the human and magical worlds to finally free the princess. Would you keep fighting after 2 failures? Have you ever discovered that persistence in the journey is more important than immediate results? Comment: what was the longest challenge you've ever faced? And what did you learn from your mistakes? Rebirth of purpose. The young man, after 2 crucial failures, abandons the forest not in search of pleasure, but in search of lost meaning. He walks for days through empty fields, silent villages, and trails that never lead to the same place. The letter and ring left by the Raven Princess burn in my pocket. Each line read, each detail of the magic map draws an arc of hope and anxiety. Nothing in this world is achieved without crossing the abyss, and only those who accept failure as part of the price learn to forge the weapons of their own destiny. He enters a village and finds an old woman at the door of a small hut. She observes him, knowing more than she lets on. "Are you looking for the way to Stromberg?" They confirm. The old woman offers bread, saying there are dangers. Giants are setting ambushes. Thieves are prowling the kingdom. By accepting the food, the young man this time remains alert, saving sleep for the night and never giving in to temptation when he has a greater purpose. Along the way, he sees the first giant, a creature 15 meters tall with a voice like thunder. Dialogue is not just about threats, it's about negotiation. "What are you looking for here, human?" "I want to save someone who has been wronged by fate." The giant, in exchange for courage, offers a magic staff, capable of opening mountains and destroying previously insurmountable obstacles. First magical object, first psychological key. Courage awakens previously unimaginable resources. Continue your journey, facing bandits. Each Shadow Lord tries to steal the princess's ring. Each villain wants to sell hope as a bargaining chip. The young man hides in caves, learns to use a staff, negotiates with sorcerers, escapes ambushes, overcomes inner doubt, and sees his own morality grow. The constancy of one who no longer fears failure. In a dark valley, he finds the second magical item, a cloak of invisibility, given by a mysterious traveler in exchange for a story. The more the hero narrates his suffering and perseverance, the more he understands that storytelling is also a weapon and a cure. expansion of the symbolic world. Among forests and ravines, he rescues a black horse, a fugitive from cruel hunters. The animal, in gratitude, promises endless loyalty and speed, becoming his companion in the final race. The golden castle looms in the distance, gleaming, immense, surrounded by impenetrable walls. The staff opens the mountain, the cloak pierces through guards. The horse gallops swiftly toward the center where the princess, trapped between magic mirrors and shattered dream halls, awaits. Each acquired resource represents an aspect of internal maturation. The staff represents the strength to break through limits and face the impossible. The cloak symbolizes the power to go unnoticed when necessary, strategic humility. The horse is wild instinct, tamed by friendship and courage. To advance through the castle is to overcome one's own limitations, surpass shadows, and refine emotional intelligence. When the young man arrives at the center, he realizes that simply showing the objects is not enough. He needs to recount the entire journey, reveal his heart in the face of power, and prove above all the value of affection in the face of fear. The spell begins to unravel, but only if the hero maintains discipline, resists the final temptation, and does not flee from his own abyss. Have you ever gathered magical resources to cope with an intense life situation? What were their staffs, cloaks, and saviors? Comment. How far would you go to free someone from the cycle of pain and exile? Arrival at the castle, an atmosphere of suspense and revelation. The young man and the black horse cross the gates of Stromberg's golden castle. The mosaics on the walls reflect not only light, but the hero's own fears, distorting every hope in the forms of magic mirrors. The ghosts of past failures whisper. Guards in golden armor watch every bark, every step. The Raven Princess, observing from above, senses the approach. The ring vibrates, the letter gleams, the spiritual bond between the two tightens, piercing through the feathers and vividly bringing to life the memory of lost time. In the center of the hall, an old wizard, the last guardian of the spell, challenges the young man. Only those who understand the value of perseverance and have learned to face their own fears can set free those they love. Show what you've won, but remember, it's not enough to just show it. You need to understand each item. The young man extends his staff and recounts how he confronted the giant. He explains the cloak and reveals the secret of passing invisibly through the disdain of others. He displays the horse and tells how he tamed his own instinct, never fleeing, but running towards the truth. The wizard smiles, removes one last veil. Now you must prove your worthiness, not through force, but through self-sacrifice. The hero must leave all his powers behind, cross the final gate alone. There, only a heart free from vanity can break the spell. The young man bids farewell to his staff, cloak, and horse. The golden hall vibrates to the sound of profound silence, and he walks to the heart of the castle, where he finds the princess in the form of a raven, surrounded by purple light. Only those who know how to lose can truly save, says the wizard. The young man, empty-handed, kneels, touches the bird, and recites the last line of the letter, a phrase of redemption conveyed through dreams. No one is truly free from its spell until they accept being vulnerable in the presence of another. The raven gleams, its plumage sparkles. The figure of the princess emerges, human, fragile, yet powerful, through suffering and waiting. Atmosphere of resignification and growth. They both hug. The castle court vibrates with admiration. The cycle of exile is broken. The mother, now wiser, learns never to ignore the power and danger of an impulsive desire. The magician withdraws silently. In the center of the great hall, everyone celebrates not only a union, but the triumph of maturation, of overcoming, of the search between shadow and light. The real magic lies not in the objects themselves, but in the ability to let them go. The hero transforms from conqueror to integrator, the princess from victim to redeemer. Healing is only possible when one accepts the end of an egoic quest and enters, vulnerable, into the realm of true relationship. The celebration marks not only the victory, but also the promise of new rounds to come. In the world of fairy tales, every end is a new beginning. What would you leave behind to free someone you love? What moment of sacrifice changed your story? Comment. Have you ever been a crow or a savior? And, in the end, what really matters? Power or connection? When shadows reveal light, in the silent curve between spell and liberation, we understand that every thoughtless desire can exile us, and every healing journey requires renunciation, dialogue, and the courage to face our own limitations. In the tale of the raven, the happy ending is more than just unity. It's the profound transformation of those who have suffered and learned to listen, understand, and sacrifice for one another. The princess, now human, returns to the kingdom not as a victim, but as a living symbol of patience and forgiveness. The young hero bears the marks of his journey, scars that become bridges to maturity. The mother, once impulsive, learns that all love needs care, and that words can heal or destroy entire destinies. The castle and the court celebrate not only the breaking of the spell, but the achievement of self-knowledge, the ability to make mistakes, start over, and above all choose a new direction when all seems lost. Final psychological synthesis. The raven is an archetype of exile and waiting, of the lost soul awaiting redemption. A hero is someone who faces challenges, fails, but never abandons their purpose, integrating both their resources and vulnerabilities. The renunciation of magical objects symbolizes the passage from childhood to maturity, from individual power to relational connection. The return to a human state is a symptom of profound healing. The journey does not erase pain, but reveals meaning in sacrifice and persistence. What spell or wish has already banished you and changed your story? Who was your raven, the one that waited for your courage? Share this, tag someone who needs to hear it. Every shadow can hide a redemption. Subscribe and comment. Which classic short story deserves analysis and a psychological script here on the channel? And remember, every happy ending begins when we are brave enough to face the shadows and recognize the miracle hidden in vulnerability.